Years ago, my wife gave me this glass cylinder for my birthday. She actually gave me two of them, in fact. One was completely empty, and then one that was full of these blue marbles. One marble for each week of life expectancy I had. Her math is kind of debatable. The gift sparked a weekly discipline for me. On Saturdays, which I take as my Sabbath, I end the evening moving one marble into this formerly empty glass cylinder. It's a weekly moment for me to ask God for a preview of the Bema. How did this week go? Did it matter eternally? Father, do you say, "Well done, good and faithful servant," as I reflect on this week? What were the wins? Do I even remember what happened this week? Or was it just one of those weeks where it was a blur of playing defense and surviving? And whatever the case, I calibrate with God. I course correct. I set resolutions for the week ahead, and I move on. My hope is that by doing these weekly check-ins, what I'm doing is ultimately hundreds of micro course corrections before the real Bema. I'm mitigating a lot of the regrets we all have, focusing on the wins that will not fade, will not rust, will not wither. As business leaders, we're awash in KPIs, metrics, and figures that we measure our success against. We benchmark against things like net worth and industry awards and the like. The haunting implication of the eternal perspective is we run the risk of running a race and winning only to watch everything we won burn up and not really matter in the final analysis of our lives. We could also wallow in self-pity or insecurity because we sense a lack of winning in the world when we're amassing eternal rewards by pursuing and accomplishing things of kingdom significance. So this time of annual audit around a C12 table is an uncommon and a necessary time for us. Jesus often taught by creating disequilibrium. He asked the question no one really wanted to answer, and he answered the question in a way that raised further questions of disturbing consequences. So in a similar spirit, today we stop, we reflect, we evaluate our lives through a lens of the eternal perspective to invite God to reveal to us where maybe there are wins that are actually been masked by business or personal noise this year that really need to be recognized and celebrated. Or maybe there are gaps that our Father is inviting us to be more diligent in pursuing in the year ahead. Now, you likely have sales targets, product launch desires, and an overall performance objectives for the business next year. But what targets, milestones, and pursuits need to be defined for the year ahead that will actually matter 50 years from now? Let's spur one another on, as Hebrews 10 says we need to, that we spur each other on towards love and good deeds. Let's call out the wins for our peers, and let's challenge one another to fulfill our eternal destiny with greater devotion in the year to come. Let's have an uncommon fellowship around this table as we press on in the endeavor to build great businesses for a greater purpose.